Welcome to the Millennial Lawyer Podcast.
So this is Mark Shirian on the Millennial Lawyer Podcast. I'm going to be doing a solo episode. Don't have a guest today. And I want to talk about, approaching this August will be 10 years that I've had my own firm, which has been just an incredible feeling, accomplishment. And I just want to talk about some things that I've learned throughout the years and how I started this firm and where I am now and where I'm looking to go. So, I started this firm with $15,000 to my name. I had 0 clients, and I just felt like it was time to do my own thing, make my own money, work on my own cases. And, there are a lot of people out there that definitely have the talent to have their own firm and run their own cases. But it takes a certain level of trust, strength, and tenacity to start a firm from scratch, especially in New York City, and to go from being a salaried employee to not really knowing when you're getting paid. And a lot of people want to start their own firm, but they don't have the courage to go out and do that. And I look back at 29 years old in 2016 to have the wherewithal and the courage to start this journey. I'm just so proud of myself for making that decision, the right decision, and growing this firm to what it is now from what it was. Another thing that I would say is that building a business, starting your own law firm, you really find out what you're good at, and you really find out what you're not good at. And you also find out what you need to work on. I've had so many different versions of myself throughout this journey. I think I started out, I was very self-critical, scared to make mistakes, having a perfectionist mentality. Of course you want to win. I always want to win. But understanding there's a difference between confidence and self-esteem. And whether you're winning or losing, not attaching your self-worth towards winning or losing, I think is a very big distinction that business owners at some point realize, and oftentimes the hard way. Another thing that has really sustained my firm and my practice has been relationships. You cannot start a firm, build a firm, grow a firm without relationships. And I'm not just talking about referrals from other attorneys. I'm talking about your clients, how you're treating your clients, how people perceive you in the community, and doing everything that you can to come out as top of mind with respect to the type of law that you practice. And there's so many different ways of doing that. But getting involved in the community, helping people, being out and about and letting people know what you do. People talk about Google and advertising and digital marketing and all that. But those things with an algorithm change can completely derail your campaign. So I think the biggest thing is relationships and investing in relationships throughout the community and throughout the legal field. And I also think wellness, taking care of yourself. I don't think I did such a great job of that early on in my career, early on in my journey as a law firm owner. I've kind of put clients and cases above my own well-being and my own health. And I've thankfully have made a much better, I've done a much better job with respect to taking care of myself and not putting these cases and clients above my own well-being, because if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not going to be of such great use to my clients. So that's another thing that I've learned throughout the years. But I think the most important thing is just being tenacious, overcoming challenges, not letting things get to you. Uh, so many different things come up, and it's so easy to give up when these things do come up. But you have to remind yourself about the clients that are entrusting you with respect to their case and what the grind is all about. And, the way I look at it is doctors provide health, lawyers should be providing justice or bridging that gap between them and justice. So these are some things that I've learned throughout the years as far as building my practice. I can't believe it's almost 10 years that I've had this firm, and I've just met the most wonderful people, whether it's other lawyers that have been colleagues of mine, judges that I've gotten to be before, opposing attorneys that I've gotten to know, and but first and foremost, my clients. I think being able to represent everyday New Yorkers and what they go through and the struggles that they go through and how they want to be heard and how they want to be validated and their journey towards justice, because it's not one size fits all. And I've gotten to know so many different people, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be an advocate in New York City. And it's these clients and it's these attorneys that have referred cases to my firm that have allowed me to be around for almost a decade. And I cannot even begin to express the gratitude that I have towards every single client that took a chance on me early on and continue to do so, because this has always been my dream to have my own firm. And it's something that I cannot and will not take for granted. So as I'm approaching these 10 years, I've been reflecting a lot about things that I've learned throughout the years. And those are just some things that I wanted to discuss today on the podcast. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you again.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.